y'all? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if your name is KK, ooh, you are running square now. I know y'all already heard the news that Diddy's assistant came out and said, what? I would never. This breaks my heart. Shut up, because guess what? We're old enough to remember Little Rod, Tyrone Blackburn's lawyer, submitted paperwork with a transcript, and they got you on tape yelling out, who want gummies? Who want this? Who want that? They have you on tape, literally forcing people to take stuff and demanding that Diddy stays high as an eagle and all his other party guests. The fact that KK is coming out, bold-faced line, in my opinion, baby, we're going to have to talk about it because the streets are talking. I think I might have some inside info. Let's get into this. But first, hit that like and subscribe. Don't forget, Diddy's trial is coming up May 12th. You know your girl is going to cover it all day, every day. It is going to be listen, we're going to turn into a 24-hour news channel off of everything that goes on in court. So listen, let's get into what KK said first, and then I'll tell you what the streets are saying, because it seems like KK is very war-braid. I know that didn't rhyme, but let me just get that off, all right? Here's what she said. Christina Coram, also known as KK, has worked for Bad Boy Entertainment for more than a decade, joining Diddy as a senior executive in 2013, according to her since-deleted LinkedIn account. Yeah, Christina, don't try now. You've been too deep in this stuff. There's no way that Diddy let you stay around for 10 years and you didn't see what was happening with Cassie. You didn't see what was happening with Little Rod. Little Rod got you on tape. Anyway, let's get into this, right? KK's proximity to Diddy has entangled her in 3 lawsuits that have been brought against her. Here's what she had to say, and then I'm going to tell y'all what I heard. For months, horrific accusations have been made about me in various lawsuits regarding my former boss. These false allegations of my involvement are causing irreparable and incurable damage to my reputation and the emotional well-being of myself and my family. I've never condoned or aided or abetted the essay of anyone, nor have I ever rugged anyone. So here's the funny thing that many people picked up. I've never condoned or aided or abetted the essay of anyone. But you literally set up the orgies. You set up the freak-offs. You would go and help clean up. But there's more. The idea that I could be accused of playing a role in or even being a bystander to the grape of anyone is beyond upsetting, disturbing, and unthinkable. That is not who I am, and my heart goes out to all the victims of SA. I'm confident that the allegations against me will be proven to be untrue. Now, here's the deal, right? Because when I first read this, I said, oh, looks like somebody might have been named as a co-conspirator, okay? Because why not? Remember, the Fed said if you're not cooperating, you're a co-conspirator. Well, I put my ear to the ground, and many people are saying that KK is doing this not to save Diddy, right? Because I think she still might be protecting Diddy, because if Diddy goes down, she goes down. They're saying she ain't doing this to save Diddy. She's doing this to save herself. She has 100% been named as she will testify, and she will testify for the prosecution. Now, here's the thing before everybody gets upset. You cannot deny, if the feds tell you you have to come to trial, even if you sit up there and you're like, I plead the 5th, you still have to testify, okay? They need KK to, and they've given her a small little deal, but they need KK to testify for times, dates, and people. Again, they are building a case, and through numerous witnesses, we will get a full thing. But here's the thing that KK just realized. Even though the government gave her a very limited deal, it seems like somebody in the legal circles have told her, babes, look at Ghislaine Maxwell. Do you remember what happened to Ghislaine Maxwell? Do you remember what happened to Ghislaine Maxwell? Okay? Jeffrey Epstein was tried. Money was divvied up. They got that locked up, and then they turned around and they said, right, who's next? Who's next? KK is up next. See, here's the thing. KK was looking at that Gender-Motivated Violence Act. She thinks she's slick, actually. She was looking at the Gender-Motivated Violence Act. Again, you can sue somebody for being the perpetrator, but you can also sue the people that aid and abetted. KK stayed very, very silent while the Gender Motivation Act still was in the statute of limitations. In New York, at least, it closed up on February 28th. Once it closed up on February 28th, now KK is coming back with this big offensive saying, I would never, because the opportunity for people to actually sue her and name her is over. Now she thinks the coast is clear, but sources are saying that even though the feds might have offered her some limited deal, in order to take on the stands, she needs to be worried about, and it seems like she is worried about, the larger issue. The larger issue at hand is very simple. Well, baby, look at it. You literally, people have you on tape. People have you on film. Let's also not forget that Diddy himself said, Diddy previously praised his soul sister, Christina. The weekend Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura filed her bombshell SA and sex trafficking lawsuit against Diddy, KK was a girl sitting on the dock talking to Diddy while he was sad, scared, confused, lonely, walking around. That's before he finally said, you know what? I'm the MFing man. And he went out on that dock with a thing and he started pop, locking, and doing the bad boy thing. And I said, yo, imagine being so powerful that nobody in your circle could tell you, yo, could you get yourself in here and sit down? You look stupid and you're making yourself look crazy, right? KK was the one that stood by his side through that Cassie stuff. KK was the one that was his chief of staff up until the point, I believe, that Diddy actually got arrested. And then once that happened, chief of staff to what? Filled in the phone calls from the county jail. But listen to what Diddy said, right? He said, KK keeps everything in my life and my business running. She's been my right hand for the last 8 years and has consistently proven to execute and get ish done. Don't know how I function without her. Again, they said a representative for KK did not clarify when she left Diddy's employment. Again, I think he left the employment when he actually got locked up, because after that, I think she was still listed as his chief of staff and she had a LinkedIn. My whole point of the matter is KK isn't going to get off on this. She thinks she is. She thinks she might have even worked out a good deal, but that deal is very limited. And just saying Maxwell, KK, you cannot stop what is coming down the tunnel for you. However, again, I wanted to talk about what people are saying. I think that she is still firmly working with Diddy. I don't see how, and when I say working with him, if he goes down, she goes down. However, the legal people that are actually on the ground and might have a little insight into what's going on in the Southern District of New York has actually said that she was offered a very, very tiny deal, or maybe immunity for testifying for the event she's going to talk about. However, they have a whole separate slew of charges that they may bring against her. But again, nobody will know, because just like before Jeffrey Epstein went down, everybody thought Ghislaine Maxwell, including Ghislaine Maxwell, thought they got off scot-free. KK is now starting to see she's not getting away from the scot-free, and there's a lot that hasn't been resolved. At the end of the day, people close to the situation say they hope KK goes to jail for the rest of her life. She was 100% complicit. She 100% helped. She 100% organized. She did everything. And a lot of people are saying that, well, I don't want to get sued, but you know how Diddy likes everybody around him to be in the same weird stuff? What did KK have to do to stay his chief of staff? Because with any good RICO criminal organization, don't you also have to be involved in it? I'm just saying. I do want to say this, though. I will stand by. I don't see how the government is going to let her off the hook. And I don't really think they need KK to testify unless she's giving up some serious info. But let's be real. If there was serious info that could be given up, I think Diddy would give it up at the end of the day. But listen, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to try to go live later and go into the information a little bit more, but let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.